How fantastic is this? Today I'm going to teach you how to make a wonderful steak with an incredible horseradish dressing. Let's go. Some of what I like to put in mine right now are beautiful greens, radishes, eggs, gorgeous cucumbers, avocado, bits of pickled things, marinated onions, some horseradish, and a beautiful steak. Here's the thing about a beautiful entree salad. You can change it up, and if you know how to make one, you know how to make it 100 different ways. I love pepperoncini, olives, and hearts of palm, but you should use always what you have local and in season. So use whatever steak is on sale and that you can find. Today, I treated myself and I'm doing a bone-in ribeye. And the first thing we're gonna do is salt and pepper it all over. So I'm gonna teach you a technique for cooking a steak. You're gonna have to totally vary it depending on the thickness, but it's gonna give you an idea in a cast iron pan how to do a great steak every time. Now what I'm gonna do is make this a pepper steak, which means I'm putting a lot of pepper on it. What we remember is this just creates a crust, and you can absolutely just not put any pepper or just put a little bit. What I'm gonna do then is really press it in. So that's all pressed down, and I don't want that to panic you, the pepper, but it makes the most fantastic crust. Let's let this get to room temperature, and then we're gonna get it on the stove and then into a hot oven. So let's put a little oil in to begin with. Sort of depends on the pan. The steak, of course, is going to produce some. And then let's get this baby on and let's get it sizzling. Here we go. So this system is called the 10, 10, and 10. And it totally depends on the width of your steak. 10 minutes in the pan here. I'm gonna sear it on multiple sides. 10 minutes in the oven, 10 minutes resting. So that's 4 minutes, and I'm gonna flip it. The nice thing about that crust is, I just love the pepper crust. But here's the thing, you can do this absolutely without a pepper crust. This is just a fun way to change it up. Now I'm gonna do 4 minutes on the other side. So I flipped it because I wanna really get the sides. And I'm keeping this on high, and I'm gonna get each side probably for about a minute. I've got it flipped, and I'm actually on the bone side. I like as much as I can to brown whatever I can, and then this is gonna go in the oven for equal time that it was on the stove. So here we go, into the oven. I've got it all preheated, it's really hot, and it's ready to roll. So I just pulled it out, and I'm just gonna let it sit for a minute, and then I'm gonna move it to a red wood board so that I can collect the juices. Couple of tips. See how I have this resting? You always want your meat to rest for 10 minutes so that all the juices can collect inside, and it makes a more juicier, more wonderful piece of steak. I'd like to keep the steak from getting cold as quickly as possible. So rather than putting this wood board directly on a marble counter, which is gonna make it cold, I just took a couple of hot pads and put them under. So let's make a creamy horseradish dressing, and this is some of what goes into it. Fresh horseradish, chives, Dijon mustard, paleo mayo, red wine vinegar, salt, and pepper. Let's go. So it's a matter of just putting everything in and going. I like fresh horseradish, I'm kind of a purist. But here's the reality, you can absolutely buy some Whole30 compliant horseradish, and it just tends to make things pretty delicious. And I'm gonna taste it before I salt. So we're getting ready to assemble. Cut everything like you like it, however looks beautiful for you, and then I get everything set up here so that I can assemble it. So what I'm gonna do is look at the steak, and I'm gonna cut it off and then have this beautiful steak here and cut it in pieces, but you can totally cut it any way that you like, depending on your family's preferences. Let's go. The other thing I wanna say is, do you see these lovely pan juices? Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so delicious. Whatever you do, there's one thing I wanna leave you with this week. It's like, don't ever throw out your pan juices. You can save it, freeze it, add it to so many things. It's magic. What I'm gonna do is arrange things in a way that you think are beautiful, and try not to put the same colors next to each other. So let's just kind of place them. Sometimes when they naturally fall is the prettiest way. So I always like to salt my greens, especially if you're not doing a sugar-laden dressing. Nothing like a little salt on greens. And then I just dress a bit of it right now with my marinated onion oil. So I'm gonna put some olives right here on the side. This is a little Niçoise olive, which I love. And then over here, I'm gonna place the hearts of palm. If you've never had hearts of palm, it's a reason to start doing Whole30. Oh, I love that they're compliant. So I've got my beautiful runny eggs, which I love. At some point I'll tell you how to do that. But it does not involve an Instapot, and it does not involve putting them in cold water. I like them warm. So I've got some chunked avocado. And remember, you can scale this up or scale it back. If you're having one person, make it smaller. If you're having more, add more. So I'm gonna put these tomatoes, and at this time of year, really, that's the kind of tomato that we can get that is delicious. And let's put some pepperoncinis, which I think of as a real magic elixir, over here. Now, since the tomatoes are not in season right now, what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of salt and a little bit of my marinated onion oil, and let's go ahead and also do that on the cucumbers. We just want everything to be beautiful and delicious. So, of course, no crumbs left marinated onions, because onions on everything. And then a bit of the marinated onion oil all over, because I like two dressings and I don't want to have just a creamy dressing. Finished product, and we can't wait to dig in. I've got some friends standing by who are choosing their pieces wisely. I hope you do the same. Enjoy the day.